DeepMind Health Research Partnership with Moorfields Eye Hospital. Hello futurists, welcome to my YouTube channel, where I track the acceleration of intelligence that will inevitably help us build a brain. In today's video, we're going to look at how DeepMind's software is able to detect over 50 eye diseases as accurately as a doctor. Artificial intelligence technologies are developed every day to help provide solutions to some of society's toughest problems. So, in 2016, DeepMind, the well-known Google AI company, announced its first medical research project with an NHS trust. They'll be collaborating with Moorfields Eye Hospital NHS Foundation Trust, one of the world's top eye hospitals, with a 200-year track record in clinical treatment, research, and teaching, according to their statement. Pearse Keane, a consultant ophthalmologist at Moorfields Eye Hospital, approached DeepMind to see if they might collaborate on two diseases that cause vision loss: diabetic retinopathy and age-related macular degeneration, AMD. Over 625,000 individuals in the UK and over 100 million people globally are affected by these issues. Diabetes is becoming more prevalent. 1 in every 11 adults in the world is thought to be impacted. It's also the biggest cause of blindness among people in their working years. Diabetics are 25 times more likely to lose their sight. Although early identification and treatment can avoid 98% of serious sight loss caused by diabetes, this isn't always the case. The most prevalent cause of blindness in the UK is age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. Every day, about 2,000 individuals in the UK lose their sight due to the severe, blinding form of this ailment, and the global number of people with AMD is expected to reach approximately 200 million in the coming years. Machine learning has the potential to save the sight of many of these people by enabling for earlier identification and treatment of AMD. DeepMind Health was revealed to be moving to Google Health in November 2018 in order for the app to grow and help more doctors in providing faster, better care to patients. After careful thought, Moorfields Eye Hospital NHS Foundation decided to update their collaboration agreements in September 2019 in order to continue our cooperation with Google Health. In the United Kingdom, 2 million people suffer from vision loss, with roughly 360,000 of them classified as blind or partly sighted. Many instances can be avoided with the appropriate therapy at the right time. For example, it is expected that early identification and treatment can prevent up to 98% of diabetes-related vision loss. Both Moorfields Eye Hospital and DeepMind Health expect that this research can ultimately aid eye health professionals in making faster and more accurate diagnoses, resulting in better treatment for individuals with eye disorders. The groundbreaking accomplishments of the partnership's first stage were revealed in August 2018. The results demonstrated that the AI system could diagnose a variety of eye disorders, as well as world-renowned professionals, advising the proper referral option for over 50 eye ailments with a 94% accuracy rate. The project is the outcome of the multi-year partnership between the two establishments and UCL. While the program is not yet suitable for clinical usage, it might be in hospitals within a few years. It was regarded as groundbreaking by those participating in the study. The research, according to Mustafa Suleiman, who was CEO of DeepMind Health, is extremely exciting and has the potential to change the diagnosis, treatment, and management of people with sight-threatening eye disorders throughout the world. The next step is to expand on these preliminary findings in order to pursue the larger objective of determining if AI technology might help patients by detecting, diagnosing, and predicting vision-threatening illnesses. To diagnose and identify the proper therapy for these critical eye disorders, eye care experts currently employ computerized scans of the fundus, the back of the eye, and scans called optical coherence tomography, OCT. These scans are sophisticated and take a long time to analyze, which might affect how soon eye health specialists can meet with patients to discuss diagnosis and therapy. Traditional computer analysis methods have so far been unable to completely examine them. In many situations, once a person loses their sight, it cannot be recovered. Thus, early identification and treatment will be quite useful. Pearse Keane began utilizing optical coherence tomography, OCT, scanners to peek into the back of a person's eye in Los Angeles a decade ago when the technology was still in its infancy. The gadgets were poorer resolution, and picture capture speeds were substantially slower. Keane studied scans from OCT machines for 2 years, learning to detect eye disorders in patients and pick out the minute features that make up sight-threatening illnesses. Keane says that it was an arduous, time-consuming job. OCT scans employed light to make high-resolution 3D pictures of the back of the eye in a short amount of time. Each time an OCT scanner is utilized, it generates roughly 65 million data points, mapping each layer of the retina. The three-dimensional pictures have become commonplace for physicians detecting eye disorders. But hundreds of scans are performed every day throughout the NHS. Keane adds, "The problem is coping with those numbers." Traditional diagnostic approaches rely heavily on the professional expertise and understanding of physicians, which can result in a high percentage of misdiagnosis and medical data waste. Intelligent solutions to manage medical data securely and efficiently are critically needed in the new era of clinical diagnostics and therapies. Artificial intelligence, AI, has been widely used in medicine in a variety of settings. In the realms of radiology, dermatology, and pathology, partnerships between medical imaging and AI disciplines have shown to be quite fruitful. It is the goal of this project at DeepMind to examine how machine learning may assist in the efficient and effective analysis of the 3D scans of patients' eyes. This will lead to earlier diagnosis and intervention for patients, as well as a reduction in the number of cases of patient deterioration. Using machine learning technology, eye health professionals will be able to diagnose and treat other diseases that, like macular degeneration, affect the lives of millions of people around the world, as well as look for early signs of eye conditions that humans might miss. The company expressed that it was a tremendously exciting opportunity to make a difference for the NHS and its patients, in light of the fact that the number of people suffering from vision loss is expected to double by 2050. Moorfields Eye Hospital NHS Foundation Trust and DeepMind Health will investigate how cutting-edge technologies can aid medical research into eye diseases such as age-related macular degeneration and sight loss as a result of diabetes. DeepMind, which specializes in applying machine learning technology to address some of the world's most complex challenges, has formed a cooperation with senior NHS eye health specialists and some of the UK's best engineers. Machine learning was used for 1 million anonymized eye scans as part of a research initiative with the Moorfields Eye Hospital and DeepMind to seek for early symptoms of eye diseases that people might overlook. The automated system developed by Moorfields and DeepMind to identify eye illnesses has the potential to reduce the amount of time clinicians spend diagnosing from OCT images. DeepMind's AI was taught to recognize 50 common eye issues, including 3 of the most prevalent eye diseases: glaucoma, diabetic retinopathy, and age-related macular degeneration. According to a new study published in the journal Nature Medicine, 94.5% of the time, the AI accurately recognized forms of eye illness using OCT data. The algorithm performs as well as experts in diagnosing OCT scans, says Keane. It's on par with, if not better than, world-renowned consultant ophthalmologists at Moorfields in determining what's wrong with these OCT scans. The algorithm can also explain how it arrived at a particular diagnosis and be utilized on more than one type of OCT machine, which is unusual for AI systems. The AI system quickly learned to recognize 10 signs of eye illness from very complicated optical coherence tomography (OCT) scans using 2 types of neural networks: mathematical systems for finding patterns in pictures or data. Based on the most urgent problems observed, the algorithm was able to propose a referral choice. Clinicians examined the identical OCT images and made their own referral judgments to see if the AI system was making accurate referrals. According to the findings, AI was able to make the correct referral decision more than 94% of the time, matching professional doctors' competence. The AI was created with 2 distinct traits that maximize its potential for usage in the field of eye care. For starters, the system may send information to eye care specialists that explains how it makes its suggestions. This data comprises graphics of the signs of eye illness discovered on the OCT scan, as well as a percentage indicating the system's confidence in its suggestions. This feature is critical in assisting physicians in scrutinizing and verifying the technology's recommendations before deciding on the sort of care and treatment a patient receives. Second, the AI system may simply be deployed to a variety of eye scanners, not only the model on which it was trained. This might dramatically expand the number of individuals who benefit from this technology, whilst also future-proofing it, allowing it to continue to be utilized when OCT scanners are improved or replaced. The output of the first neural network was analyzed by the second neural network, which was able to provide diagnoses and a referral suggestion to clinicians. The system calculates a percentage-based confidence rate. It doesn't simply state, "This appears to be macular degeneration," but also, "Here are the exact components of the scan that we believe suggest the diagnosis." It adds annotations on the scan itself, Suleiman explains. DeepMind and Moorfields also put the AI system through its paces on 2 OCT scanners, one from Topcon of Japan and the other from Heidelberg Engineering of Germany. What I believe few people realize is that particular bits of hardware create quite a varied raw signal for the algorithm to comprehend, explains the co-founder of DeepMind. Suleiman adds that the algorithm's ability to run on 2 machines brings the business closer to its goal of developing a general-purpose AI. The goal of this study was to see if artificial intelligence, AI, might assist improve the treatment of patients with sight-threatening disorders, including age-related macular degeneration and diabetic eye disease, by speeding up the interpretation of OCT images without sacrificing diagnostic accuracy. According to Suleiman, the system's use of 2 neural networks allowed the findings of both stages to be examined closely in order to determine why a certain diagnosis was recommended. We're attempting to examine the different representations at each layer of the neural network, and this is a really important priority across all machine learning applications. This has ramifications in the actual world. A lot of AI and healthcare research isn't particularly relevant in that aspect, says Keane. Engineers are developing algorithms that are incredibly accurate but have no practical application. Clinical trials to see how this technology could improve patient care in practice, as well as regulatory approval, are the next steps before it can be developed in hospitals and other clinical settings. If clinical trials show that the technology can be used safely and successfully, Moorfields will be allowed to utilize an eventual regulatory-approved product for free for the first 5 years across all 30 of their UK hospitals and community clinics. For many years to come, the effort that has gone into this initiative will assist expedite wider NHS research. DeepMind, for example, has dedicated substantial resources to cleaning, curating, and labeling Moorfields' de-identified research information, resulting in one of the world's most sophisticated eye research databases. This database is owned by Moorfields as a non-commercial public asset, and it has already been used in 9 different medical research investigations. Moorfields can also utilize DeepMind's trained AI model for non-commercial research in the future, perhaps advancing medical research even further. AI systems are steadily learning to detect sickness as well as any human doctor, condition by condition, and they might soon be working at a hospital near you. Google's DeepMind subsidiary, UCL, and Moorfields Eye Hospital, for example, have used deep learning to produce software that recognizes dozens of common eye illnesses from 3D images and then offers therapy. Nearly 15,000 OCT images from 7,500 patients were used to train the program. All of these people were treated at Moorfields Eye Hospital, which is Europe's and North America's largest eye hospital. Their scans were input into the system with diagnoses from human doctors. It learned how to distinguish the distinct anatomical features of the eye, a process called segmentation, before recommending clinical intervention depending on the numerous indicators of illness that the scans revealed. In a test in which the AI's decisions were compared against diagnoses provided by an 8-person panel of clinicians, the program made the same suggestion more than 94% of the time. Although these findings are encouraging, medical professionals are nonetheless concerned about how AI systems will be integrated into care procedures. Advances in AI, according to Luke Oakden-Rayner, a radiologist who has written extensively on the issue, are rapidly moving us towards a tipping point when software is no more a tool that a doctor applies and interprets, but rather something that makes judgments on behalf of people. The first systems are now starting to reach this threshold. The FDA authorized the first AI-powered tool that identifies sickness without the need for human intervention in April. It makes the clinical choice on its own. Incidentally, this program, like today's new algorithm, analyzes eye scans. However, it only searches for one ailment, diabetic retinopathy, whereas DeepMind scans for over 50. The program isn't designed to be a simple diagnostic tool. Instead, it's intended to be utilized for triage, which is the process of determining which patients require immediate attention. So, while it makes educated guesses about a patient's ailments, the true suggestion it offers is how urgently the patient should be sent for treatment. These qualities may appear inconsequential, but they each act as a speed bump, slowing the algorithm and allowing humans to intervene. The true test will be when the software is installed and tested in a real-world clinical setting. It's unclear when this will happen, but DeepMind says it intends to begin the process soon. This discovery is particularly fascinating as an example of how AI businesses gain from access to significant datasets, in addition to its therapeutic implications. DeepMind, in particular, has been chastised in the past for how it got patient data from the UK's publicly financed National Health Service, NHS. In 2017, the UK's data watchdog concluded that an agreement reached by the corporation in 2015 was unlawful because patients were not properly informed about how their data was being used. Since then, the contract has been replaced. Without access to the same data, today's study would be impossible. While the data used in this study was anonymized and patients had the option to opt out, DeepMind owns the diagnostic software generated from it. If the software is cleared for use in a clinical context, it will be offered free of charge to Moorfields physicians for a 5-year term, according to the business. However, this does not prevent DeepMind from selling the software to other hospitals in the UK and elsewhere. DeepMind claims that this type of arrangement is normal in the business, and that it spent heavily in the research to develop the algorithm, according to The Verge. It also mentions that the data it helped collect is now open to the public for non-commercial medical research. Despite these efforts, there is still doubt regarding the company. DeepMind recently convened an independent panel to examine its own business practices, and the group concluded that the company should be more transparent about its business model and connection with Google, which purchased the company in 2014. This type of monitoring will undoubtedly get more intense as DeepMind moves closer to generating commercial goods utilizing publicly funded NHS data. Regardless of these drawbacks, it's evident that algorithms like these have a lot of potential. Around 285 million individuals worldwide are believed to have some sort of vision loss, with eye illness being the leading cause. OCT scans are an excellent technique for detecting eye illness. 5.35 million were conducted in the United States alone in 2014, but analyzing the data takes time, which creates a bottleneck in the diagnostic process. It might be extremely advantageous if algorithms can help triage patients by sending doctors to those who are most in need of treatment. The quantity of eye scans we're taking is expanding at a rate considerably quicker than human specialists are able to analyze them. Dr. Pearse Keane, the consultant ophthalmologist at Moorfields who was involved in the research, said in a news statement, "There's a chance this will create delays in diagnosing and treating vision-threatening disorders. We have the best chance of saving people's eyesight if we can detect and treat eye diseases early. Further study might lead to improved consistency and quality of therapy in the future for people with vision issues." This wraps up today's video. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit like, and if you want more content like this, subscribe to the channel. Make today a great day. Until next time, keep thinking.